Hey guys, doing a video review. This time a Marvel figure. Weird, huh? Well, a few weeks ago, I picked up Marvel's like Deadpool at my local comic book shop. Now, I chose Deadpool. It was a choice between Deadpool and the old Iron Man, the one with the really obvious ball joint limbs. I chose him because, well, first off, Deadpool 2 coming out next year. And second off, I have more of a connection to Deadpool than I do Iron Man. I do like Iron Man, but that's not the point. The point is, this figure is actually pretty good. It does have its flaws. And I will list my flaws. I will list these flaws and my complaints throughout the video. Now, you may have noticed that this is not my traditional recording software. I'm not using my iPhone anymore. I'm actually using my dad's Nikon D3100. So, and the only downside is that my videos can only be 10 minutes long at a time. So, I'm gonna have to do this pretty quickly. Now, this Deadpool comes with a lot of weapons and is actually pretty decently posable. Let me go ahead and get him set up. Almost done, guys, don't worry. Now, I'm putting him back on his base because, well, the problem with this figure is that they gave him very loose ball hinge ankles, and as a downside, the hips on my figure are quite loose, so he doesn't stand very well on his own, so I have to put him on his display base. Now, the detail on this figure is phenomenal. There is, hang on guys, too close, there we go. He has, excuse me, obviously the most prominent color is red. There's also a very dark gray, it's actually not a black. There's brown, there's gray, there's gold, there's silver, there's white. That's about it for the colors, but as for accessories, he comes with two handguns, which are nicely painted. They're silver and they have a black wash. Let me get the other one out. They're the exact same, they're just two of the same guns. He also comes with two katanas, which is always good. Slicey slice, right? There's the second one. He also comes with two sais. And also comes with an assault rifle. So this display base. I almost forgot to mention the display base. It's bloody again. Unlike the iPhone, which has autofocus, you have to manually adjust this one. Or there we go. The colors on this base are browns, grays, blacks, a little bit of gold on the There we go. A little bit of gold on the bullet casing. There's also silver on these cans, which I assume this is just a back alley. And what's good is that it has a bullet-ridden wall behind him. Now, this comes in 2 pieces. When out of the box, you have to simply put the pieces in, and there you go. Now, on to Deadpool himself. He stands 7 inches tall, I believe 7¼ inches to be exact. And the head sculpt is not bad. It reminds me a lot of the Marvel Legends Deadpool. The Toy Biz one, not the Hasbro one. And in my opinion, it's just a very good likeness to Deadpool. And there is shading throughout the red. It's very slight, but it is there. Now, onto the way of articulation. His head is on a ball peg, otherwise known as a ball joint sometimes. And it moves left to right, no problem. Has a little bit of head tilt, as well as a little bit of up and down. His shoulders on, standard Marvel Select shoulder joints. They don't move out the greatest, but it should be enough for Deadpool. One of my complaints: no bicep swivel. I understand that Diamond Select has a 16 points of articulation limit, but I think personally we could have done away with double jointed knees to give us a bicep swivel. Now, next he has a single jointed elbow. Not the greatest range, but, whatever. A wrist swivel. A waist joint, which is very minimal, because it's the belt. And another thing I don't like is he doesn't have torso articulation. He doesn't have an ab crunch. He doesn't have a diaphragm joint. That's very problematic for posing. Next, he has ball hinge hips, which are, unfortunately, wide jointed, which means you have to rotate them to bring them up, like so. And they don't even go up that far. And they don't go too far to the back. He has upper thigh swivel, double joint knees like I mentioned, as well as ball hinge feet, which this one's very stock. This one works actually pretty well. So, pros about this figure. It looks like Deadpool, has pretty good paint applications and nice shading. A lot of weapons, and a good display base. The cons: he has trouble standing without his base. They don't give you a place to store his size. So when I have him on display, I typically put his size in his gun holsters. And the fact that he doesn't have bicep swivels or an ab crunch. His head articulation could be better, but I personally think this figure would have done much better with ankle rockers instead of ball hinges. Okay guys, that's about it for me. This is Tech signing off.